Chat, we're back. We're back, chat. Good.
That's all they think about, man. They only think about eating, and if they could fit you, if they could put you in there, they would. Just look what Kremera did to Pikachu. An Eevee factory. Oh, they just pump out and make a Flareon, and what are you gonna do? Vaporeon? Oh, okay, Jolteon. Now it's probably. Come on, I got to say it. There you go. See, this is how the Pokemon Company makes me all the good merchandise, and I just can't get away from it, man. It's just cute how they waddle away, too. That's adorable. It makes me smile. Good like hiding your intentions. Turns out aura isn't the only thing you can train. I don't know what this means necessarily. What kind of aura are we talking? Because that could just be, dude, it's my aura, bro. No, you just stink, man. Take a shower, Lucario.
Lucario is shit.
Man. Please. It knows what kind of thoughts you're going on. It can sense your vibe. Lucario can literally vibe check you. Can't really hide your attention from that girl.
Fail.
The internet saying Mars at only 290 entries.
That's the last day to get this,
isn't it?
isn't
Saying Mars, but she's a good person and slightly curvier with 10 times the amount. I mean, to be fair, it's the red shorts. It's those nice tight red shorts that brings attention to it. It really is just that magic. It works, guys. It worked for like Ash in Final Fantasy 12 with the red booty. It worked for Riza. I mean, God, did it work for Riza?
Oh, we have to do this today.
Pokemon Ami is so awkward with humanoid Pokemon. Why am I petting this grown freaking woman?
Grown freaking.
Some of them need pets. I mean, I know a few girls that like a head pat out there. I think it's a respectable thing to do. Ain't nothing wrong with it. You can even bathe them. Some humans need baths too. Many harsh battlers taught Corvusquire to accurately judge an opponent's strength.
You can't do anything, it's just a battle.
Ripping off the metal. I honestly do think that they all are kind of just the closest thing that Pokemon has to an actual rebel. Like a dazzler out there, it's going to rip things apart and do it's just too evil for the sake of evil. I mean, I guess there's Imp too, but he's more of an imp. Is that one trio on some golden nuggets?
No.
Okay, dude. I see what you stop.
Why would you do that?
What are you angry for? I'm appreciating your splendor there as you're going up and down there, Mr. Wugtrio. Well, it's just one.
No, Wugtrio, don't do that. No.
Well, I mean, as long as it's happy, and it definitely does look happy with how much it grew. If Pokemon were real, most psychic types would be treated as actual citizens in the sense you'd see posts like, her booty evolved years ago and still hasn't gotten a job, with a picture of Garbo stealing food from the fridge at 3 a.m. And well, we have this right now. She's just yoinking the food. Is that cake or like, what has she got in her hand out there? Like, come on, Gardevoir. And then there's another version of, dude, my Gardevoir's the breadwinner. That's her food, thank you, man. She's just out there. 2 different versions. The Gardevoir's probably smarter than me, man. It probably knows how to do stock trading and day trading and all that other stuff out there. I don't want to get involved with all that. It has future sight. It can just predict it. It can win the lottery, man. Those random cats beefing at 3 a.m. and oh my God, the shinks, man. Oh God. I have a feeling that those cats are probably not going to be very happy for much longer with that psychic type about to blow them up. Unless Litten's the dark type. No, fairy type still obliterate him. Yo, Machoke looking at that floor just shiny like, hey, yo, what's up, girl? You looking good. It's like, hey, you want a kiss? And he goes for it, and oh, it's a Drake kiss.
Psych.
Brother, you fell for the oldest trick in the book, bro. Come on, man. Oh, no. What are you doing, bro? You throw it out here. To be fair, Floor just carried me heavily through Pokemon Stop, alright? She had my back. The ultimate tank trainer could outlast any Pokemon. Was totally a Giga Chat in that game, even without a Mega. I never thought I'd lose at father's restaurant. How could I lose at father's restaurant? I dated his best, but no better than the first. I don't don't like that. wait a minute. Pokemon.
What the? Oh, I just got it. Oh,
I
no.
don't know the exact situation here, but I'm pretty sure that Gardevoir is projecting her period cramps over to the Galay.
Synchronized.
Actually has, for whatever reason, wider hips than a Gardevoir. That Galay got some big hole hips out here. Anyway, that's gonna do it here for our Pokemon memes. I hope you guys had some good laughs, and if you did, hey, check out my other stuff. I have so much other good Pokemon memes, Eevee stuff, and you know what? Extra memes and stuff for you guys to go and enjoy. Because I like you. Yeah, it's that simple. But for now, I hope to see you beautiful sons and guns again in the next video. That's right. I'm not gonna address that this just fell out of my ear. I'm just gonna let it happen.
What's on? Oh yeah, he's that kind. Nerd.
That
Oh, whoops, I forgot to update the date. Who is it? The council is cooked. Genshin? Oh no, why would you do that? I have to watch it now.
I went on Etsy and spent over $1,000 on Genshin Impact merch because I have no self-control, and Etsy is the worst place to be for someone who has no restraint. If I saw it, I liked it, I bought it. And in this video, you'll see everything from cute art to awesome handmade crafts to even questionable candles, all coming from different sellers on Etsy. This is video 5 in a series I've done of buying different Genshin items from all these different websites. So if you haven't seen them yet, check them out down below. And if this video gets to 10,000 likes, I'll do an eBay episode. And God knows what type of unholy things I'll find over there. And I had to pay for all of this some way, so shout out to today's sponsor, Aniba. Aniba is the best place to top up yourself or a friend in your favorite gacha games like Genshin Impact, and it's one of the safest ways to do it as well because they're 100% Hoyoverse compliant, so you never have to worry about the safety of it, and it'll help you save money on something you were already gonna buy. All you gotta do is click the first link down below, enter in your user ID and region, select how much you want to top up for, and you are done. And what makes things even better is that a small percentage of every purchase you make goes back to your Aniba wallet. That money can be used on even more stuff on their website. So if you like saving money, unlike me, because I spent over $1,000 on this video, then check out Aniba today. This is how much we bought today. That's how much we have to go through. How about we start with this? I think I know what this one is. That specific elongated piece of meat looking one. You might be able to tell what it is from the shape of it alone. I thought this was gonna be good to start with because I can unbox everything on it for the whole video today. Ready? Oh, isn't it so cute? That's a Nouvellette inspired otter mouse pad. Baby blue, it's got like some greens in there too. This is so pretty. Look at the little guys. Oh my God. That is so cute. Good start, really good start. Okay, anybody want to guess how much it cost? 32, 25, 30, $66.43.
Overpaid.
I tell you what, I love artists. I consider myself as an artist in some ways. Wait, that's looking pretty good. What do you think, boys? Item number one of the video. I think the mouse pad was like 40 bucks, but shipping was $28. That's one thing about Etsy that's been a little bit tougher is that shipping will cost more. Let me turn the light on my camera so you can really. Oh. They're just so cute. The lily pads around. Whoever made this is such a good artist. Oh, how about this one? This one feels kind of heavy. Some kind of cup. Oh, it's a candle. What flavor did I get? I don't remember this getting into my cart. Who did this? Guys, we have a crime to investigate. So somehow getting railed by Zhongli at Wangshu Inn is a smell. So I guess I need to tell you what it smells like now. I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna smell getting railed by Zhongli. He smells pretty good. Damn, that's what he smells like? Chat, hold on. I recommend getting railed by Zhongli at Wangshu Inn. This is 10 out of 10. It has like a
Osmanthus wines. I will be honest though, there's a tinge of grandma on this, and I don't know how to explain that. You ever been to your grandma's house before and it just smells like her? Do not say Madam Ping. That's not what I meant. Let's light this real quick. Everybody breathe in. Ready?
Osmanthus wine tastes the same as
Very manly. Zhongli's candle. It cost me $33.46. $7.99 of shipping. So that's a $33 candle right there. It's a pretty good sized candle though, all things considered. I'm pretty sure the storefront, the one that sells this, has a bunch of different getting railed candles, which is a crazy sentence to say. Okay, so you can also be getting railed by Sephiroth or getting railed by Zane at the surgery room if you play Love and Deep Space. There's a little bit of something for everybody. There's one for Wuwa fans. It smells like getting railed by GN. So there's just a bunch of everything for everyone. What is this? Oh, it's closed. Yes. I was waiting for this one for so long. Oh my God. It's a Fontaine, like letter university.
Fontaine.
It's like I went to Fontaine School of Law. This is cute. Hold on, let me try it on. All right, here we go. What do we think? I love it. It's actually really comfy too. POV, you pull up to law school and I'm your classmate. Hey, classmate. So this item was $55. 55 bucks for this. Is it worth it? It's pretty good quality. I'll actually unironically wear this. So I got a lot of good use out of it. Okay, guys, next item. I spent $2,000 on cardboard. Now, this has a lot of collector value to it. As you can tell here, the cardboard comes with tape. So that makes it worth it. Okay, I'm joking. I didn't pay $2,000 for the cardboard. I paid $2,000 for the doodle on the front of the cardboard. What is this art? Oh, I didn't order this. That's Sly from Sly Cooper. Wait, this isn't Genshin? Wait, I didn't order this. Carmelita Murray. This is from Sly Cooper. It looks like the kind of art that you do in one stroke, too. Doro's gift. I was just about to say, did Doro get me this? Because he was telling me he got me something for my birthday. Hold on, I gotta call Doro. Hello? Doro, is the birthday gift you got me posters?
Oh yeah, I did get those for you.
You got these for me.
Yeah. I thought it was supposed to be framed. Fuck, my V.
No, this is perfect. They're so high quality, dude.
Yeah, I forgot I got those for you.
Okay, well now we figured out where it came from.
Okay, so that's one of the gifts. The other one shipped, and then something else supposed to ship. We'll see.
Well, thank you for my stuff, dude. I appreciate it. I just wanted to figure out where it came from.
Yeah, of course, man.
This is some sick art for Sly Cooper. I remember Doro telling me he sent me something Sly Cooper related for my birthday. So maybe all of this really dope art got mixed in with our Genshin video today? I don't know, but this is still sick because this is like one line for a lot of it. Yo, everybody, shout out to the Scribble Shop. Go follow them. This is some good art. I would love to see some Genshin ones with the same style. All right, I'm seeing some Genshin stuff. Is that a figure? Yep. First figure of the video, chat. We have the Raiden one. And this figure right here, let's see how the quality looks. It comes with a nice, wait, is that cryo? Wait, why is this a cryo symbol? You have one job. This weapon here is heavy. It weighs a lot. You could hurt somebody if you threw this off a building at them. So at least it's a cool keychain. It does have the electro symbol. And then this is the figure. This is the figure itself. Why is it so busty? Why is her hair blue? I was looking at the giant fake boob implants, not the hair, but you're actually right. The hair is kind of strange. I mean, the rest of the fit looks kind of okay, kind of good. I just can't get over the push-up bra. Okay, and then I think she comes with an umbrella too. Where does she hold the umbrella at though? Wait, what's in her hand? What's that? What is she holding? Dog, no, that's another person's like arm. I don't know what that is. Maybe that's for the umbrella? Is that where an umbrella is supposed to go? So originally, this is what the figure is supposed to look like. Like, it kind of looks like what I got. It definitely isn't as busty up here, that's for sure. And you're supposed to be able to hold the whole umbrella through it. The umbrella doesn't fit in her hand. I got scammed. All right, well, there's your push-up bra Raiden. I did get a handwritten note, though. Hey, Dallas, we're giving away the keychain alongside the Raiden Shogun just for you. If you're happy about your experience with us, leave us a review with pics. Love it. Thank you guys. I do appreciate the keychain that could serve as a crazy paperweight, but you know, this one's not perfect. How much did it cost me? $59. It's kind of a lot. Hold on. The figure was $59 and the shipping was $29. I hope you guys enjoy these videos and you're subscribed because I'm doing this so you don't have to ever. This next one is something I got.
In this video, I'm gonna become an AI artist. Okay, I know it sounds bad, but let me explain. Lately, it's becoming harder and harder to spot AI, with sometimes even real artists getting accused of it. And I thought, hey, what if I pretend to be an AI artist? So in this video, I'm drawing 3 different art pieces, purposely making them look like AI, and I'm gonna be posting them in art Discord servers to see who thinks my art is real and who thinks it's AI, with each drawing getting more and more difficult. And be sure to stick around till the end, cause I have a feeling I might get banned. For this drawing, I decided to draw Kiki from Kiki's delivery service in a mixture of my style and the Studio Ghibli style. One of the reasons being, of course, I love Ghibli, but a while back there was unfortunately a huge trend where people were generating images imitating the Ghibli art style, which was pretty sad to see. With that being said though, I actually had a lot of fun drawing this one. I chose Kiki because she has such a cute and simple character design, and I didn't want to make this one too complicated. I drew her flying on her broomstick, and of course I was sure to add some inconsistencies like her shoes being weird and her head being randomly
No, I don't think it's quiet.
Also, AI tends to mess up a lot on shading and wrinkles, so I did that as well. Considering how much fun I had drawing this and I was really starting to love how it turned out, it was pretty painful ruining my art piece on purpose. I'm so sorry, Kiki. Okay, our drawing of Kiki is finally done. We've got the messed up headband, the hands are a bit strange and aren't even actually holding onto the broomstick, her shoes are a little weird, the shading and wrinkles don't make too much sense. This is supposed to be the least difficult one, so I didn't want to make it too obvious that I tried to make it look like AI. We're gonna post in this server called Art Club. The chat's pretty active and the community's pretty lively. Don't steal or claim AI as your art, you will be removed without any warning. These artists are actually so good, I'm scared. Hi, I'm new. It's gonna be as vague as possible. Okay, honestly, nothing has happened, so I'm actually gonna ask people to give me tips for this art piece. I am new to art. Is there anything I should change? Looks very good, but is she holding onto the broomstick with her hand? I just forgot to put her other hand on the other side. This is so convincing. What's happening with the hands, legs, and broom?
The legs. The broom. It's an art style.
This person is very
You're
suspicious
trolling.
of.
That's the worst kind of troll. Pretending. It's on drut stuff. Do the story. React to the story, chat. Dim. But where? Doko desu ka? Kore wa? Nani shite? Ibu's gone. So sad. Chasing the golden dragon. Harry Potter boxes. Hyper. Impossible AI art cakes. Pippa does not watch the news. Good.
The TV is still reporting ominous news, so I turned it off. Me? So one time,
Hey, it's
this
Kay.
boomer was getting mad at me. I'm saying boomer
It's Richard.
derogatory here, and
Hi,
I
Richard.
mean it. I think they're too old to be a boomer because they started like going all like, "Oh, young people these days" on me. They're like, "Oh, like what news channels do you watch?" And
Oh.
I was like, "I don't watch the news." And they're like, "Well, then how do you know what's going on in the world?" And I was like, "I don't know, like social media." And they're like, "Oh, but you don't know what's going on in the broader sphere. Then you only know what's going on in like the people that like are close to you or whatever." And I'm like, I mean, like knowing about it doesn't change anything, so I don't bother. And they're like, "Oh, well, that's no mindset to have. What about like when it comes to voting and stuff?" And I'm like, "Well, I don't vote, so." And they're like, "Oh, so yeah, no. And I'm just sitting there like, man, I don't know what to tell you. I play video games for a living. Like, what do you want me to vote on, bro?"
You're gonna tax my video games.
Why do you think I care what's going on outside of it? Oh, because it affects you. Bro, I have no right
It's
to
just
vote.
part
I'm
of
too
humanity.
stupid. Sasha, thank you. You know what I should eat today? You should have a lox bagel.
Better.
Defeated.
Yeah.
Sir, let's make something 100% clear. Yeah, you don't want me to vote. Exactly, Spark. You don't want me to vote. I love how they think the news they watch is actually truthful and factual. Well, that's another thing is like they don't, right? They don't think the news that they watch is truthful or factual. And then they're like, why aren't you watching it? And I'm like, because man, it doesn't matter. You know who it matters to? People that it matters to. You know what I do? I just sit in my house and I play video games. What do you want from me, bro? Bro, calm down. I get all my news from VTubers. People reads the paper. Sometimes. My parents get like the local pamphlets and stuff sent to them, and I'm like, they always like throw it into like the burn pile, and I'm like, oh, what is going on in the local community? And I flip through, and it's like, $5 Domino's coupon. Okay. Social media is all lies. The TV tells me so. Yeah. The news is just too sad. The news is always like 10 people who are all pregnant mothers with happy families and were the sole breadwinners of their households die in a tragic accident that could have been completely avoided. They died because the company that they worked for put them all on a bus and drove that bus into a volcano and hired a drunk person to drive the bus. And the drunk person was the son of the CEO, and he survived. He's the only one that survived. And you're like, what? This is like comically evil. This is comically evil. What's going on? Is this real? Is this true? And then you look it up and you're like, oh, it is true. Okay. Yeah, least tragic news story. Oh my god. All right. 20 people died in a boat accident on a random lake. Yeah. True, man. And then all the comments are like people being like, they deserved it. And you're like, whoa, man, calm down. What do you mean they deserved it? And all the people in the comments, they're like these 80-year-old evil nut jobs that are like, they deserved it because they went out on a full moon, and you should know that the full moon makes you crazy. And you're like, what? And then there's like some other person and they're like, you know, back in my day, we had better sense than to go out on a boat on the lake. Nowadays, people just be doing anything. And you're like, what the hell? What are you talking about? You know, you're not allowed to go boating on a lake now? And then somebody else is making it about politics, and somebody else is making it about the politics counter that politics. And then there's one person that's going, oh, that's sad. And that person has like some sad reacts, but then there's like 10 comments responding to them going, nah, fuck them. And you're like, oh my god, everybody's so mean. I wouldn't have done that equals they deserve it. That is unironically a lot of people's mindset. That's like the oldest currently alive generation's mindset is they're like, well, I personally don't like boating, so everybody who goes boating deserves to die. And you're like, what the hell? Dude, what is your problem? What is your problem, man? I wouldn't have done that, and then they turn around and tell you about doing something 10 times more dangerous. Dude, the oldest generation, they'll be like, it's not even boomers, it's the ones like right above them. Gen X, okay. Dude, Gen X will be like, people don't care about each other anymore. People don't care about anything. It's so sad what society has become. And then they'll be like, yeah, those people who went boating, they should die. They should die. Because why would you get in a boat, you idiot? Why would you even bother to get in a boat? If it was me, I would have cut their fuel lines. And you're like, oh my god. Oh, Gen X is younger than boomers. Okay, the ones older than boomers. The ones just a little bit older than boomers. They're like, I would have cut their fuel lines myself, personally. I would have asked them if they had wanted a Bud Light just to watch them get drunk and crash the boat, and then I would have pointed and laughed. And you're like...
Oh, sorry, I was muted.
Chill. Chill, dude.
Wait, why are we playing the music from the event?
Low effort clips. That's right.
Wait, what?
Sometimes I wish I was a quirky millennial. I wish I could care about anything as much as millennials do. I wish I could feel emotion the way they feel emotion. I think I would be so much happier. I feel like millennials, they really just get to just be happy. You know what I mean? They get to play Quirk Chungus video games and laugh at the memes. They get to buy Don't Be Depresso cups to drink caffeine from, and they feel good about that. Embrace your whimsy. I wish I could be whimsy pilled, man. I wish I could have whimsy. That's called histrionic
Whimsy.
personality disorder. As a millennial, no, I don't know what you mean. Oh, I wish I wasn't irony poisoned. It's irony poison. None of them are really happy. I think the younger generation is irony poisoned. I think millennials are not irony poisoned. I think they embrace things very sincerely, and that's part of what unironically makes them really cringe. I'm sorry, I'm irony poisoned. I have lots of Funko Pops. Yeah, millennials can love Funko Pops. I like the dinosaur ones. I got a little bit of that whimsy in me. I think they genuinely enjoy slop. I wish I could watch the latest Marvel movie and be happy about it. I wish I was the type of person to stand up in the theater and cheer at the end of Avengers Endgame. I want to be that happy. I want to be that able to enjoy things. You definitely think of Disney adults. It's not millennial, it's just normie. I used to have whimsy too before the internet. You wish to be low IQ. I am low IQ. I gotta take an IQ test on stream, and then I'll... Who was the streamer that brought up like the IQ test? Or he did the IQ test, and then he fucking brought up like the Vice article or whatever, where it's like, here's why IQ tests are debunked. And then he called his mom, and he was like, you lied to me! You guys know the streamer I'm talking about? He called up his mom, and he was like, you lied to me about my IQ test. You told me you didn't tell me my IQ test results because it would make me feel arrogant. You told me that you wouldn't tell me my IQ test results because I would get like a big head and I would think I'm better than the other kids, but you didn't tell me my IQ test because I'm
totally
an idiot. What streamer was that? What fucking streamer was that? Xander Hall! Oh my god, I'm gonna pull a Xander Hall. Millennials also embrace all the negative emotions and are incredibly caught up about the negativity in the world. Oh, true. Okay, true. I'll never recover, bro. I'll take the fucking IQ test and I will never recover, bro. They're gonna be posting that in response to everything I say. Uncle Dan, thank you. Real IQ test is about 2 hours long. Everything you do online is not real and has to be graded. It has 5 sets of protected questions graded by psychologists. What the fuck? Bro, I'm not giving you any more ammunition. You guys already got me with the Joker 2. You guys already got me with the 9.2 out of 10. I don't know. I'm not a fucking scientist. My gut reaction is to say, I don't think IQ... This isn't cope. I haven't taken an IQ test. My gut reaction is to say, I don't feel like IQ tests actually matter that much because the difference between people that apply themselves and don't apply themselves, that's where practicality is. And I would value, personally, practicality over theory any day. People that are like, I'm too smart to engage in anything. Everything is beneath me. I took a fucking IQ test and I've got 140 IQ. I'm in the top fucking percentile. I'm too smart to engage with my surroundings. Okay, well, actually, you're annoying and an idiot. You're annoying and an idiot. You might have the capacity to be really intelligent, but you have put a soft lock on yourself. You will never be able to engage in anything because you have convinced yourself that you're above it all. So really, you're just a fucking idiot. Like, you won't learn anything. It doesn't matter if you have a natural inclination for learning or the natural ability to learn quickly or to understand quickly, to problem solve quickly. Because my brother in Christ, you won't solve any fucking problems. You won't know anything. And then these are the people that think that they're above, like, tradesmen. They're like, I can't, electricians, plumbers, construction workers, brain dead idiots who drink beer all day. Bro, you sit and play League of Legends all day. You
I hit that.
Do anything. What are you smug about, bro? You bought some Stephen Hawking books to LARP with. You won't even go to college for fucking astrophysics or whatever. Shut up, man. Your biggest accomplishment is like building a PC, which congratulations. Anybody can do. Super Iron Bob, thank you. Anyone too intelligent to engage is peak midwit and probably actually midwit. What's wrong with League? Everything's wrong with League. I feel attacked! Off-kilter class is really solo rant. Oh, Metacube, thank you, Rabbit. I watch you for edgy rants. Who gave you the right to morally enlighten me like this? Are you enlightened? Oh my god, enlightenment is the name of Adler's armor in NDE. I think even if you're dumb as a box of rocks, if you learn something, I think that's what matters. I think actually learning something, actually doing something with the knowledge is far and above any sort of baseline skill. I think that's what matters. I think you can go out there and if you build your own bathroom, if you fix your own sink, if you fix your car, if you make something, if you
I want
discover
pro.
something,
I don't want to try it.
even if it's already been discovered before by somebody else, I think that's practical application. And isn't that great? Isn't it great to just do something? To see the fruits of your labor? Get to cook something and make it better and better than before? Put your knowledge to work. Yeah. Trying things. In this day and age where it's so much easier for people to not understand anything, to easily replace that which wears down with something newer and cheaper, I think it's pretty great if you're capable of doing something on your own other than just spending money. Didn't you just say knitting is cringe? Knitting is cringe. I'm happy for you if you like knitting. If you like knitting. I like knitted stuff. I have some knitted stuff. Or crocheted. I don't know the difference. I have 115 IQ, but I have a personality disorder. Oh, okay. People understand the world in different ways and have their own ways of interpreting things. And
True.
no matter how many times an idea is presented and no matter how clearly it's expressed, definitively it's expressed, people will still, depending on their personal context, they're gonna interpret it in different ways, right? You know, if you put up a fucking button and you put up a sign and it says don't touch this button, well, for some people their context is going to be, oh, it's saying not to touch this button. Well,
investigation.
Like, I've watched all these TV shows and stuff, or I've read about all these studies about like how if like they put up
Oh
a
wait,
button
my
that
laundry.
said, don't touch the button, but actually if you do touch the button you get $100, but nobody ever touched the button, so they never got $100. You know, like that's some people's context going into shit. That's why some people will do the things that they do, or some people will just be driven in the moment by some emotion. And I try to look at the times that I've been a fucking idiot or I've been driven by emotion, and I just choose to believe that that's why somebody acted dumb. They're not necessarily dumb, they just acted like a fucking idiot in that moment. Wood shopping thingy, Pippa builds one engine and gets trade build. I always told you guys go to trade school instead of college. Self-reflection is important, yeah. Just remember that people are people, and defining them by their worst moments is not how you would want other people to define you, right? I'm sure you have fucked up before, and other people have looked at you and said, man, what a fucking idiot, how did they get through life? So when other people do that to you, you know, don't feel good, right? So, yeah. You and your others! Don't tell everyone to go to trade school. I don't need those future jobs. Oh, I don't need those future jobs for me to be impacted as well. Okay. Respectfully spoken, Pippa. It sounds obvious when you say it out loud, but it really is important to remember. I think so. If I've heard that exact line in at least 3 scenarios where the guy saying it was justifying killing someone. What, bro? What?
Everybody, make sure to like, comment, and subscribe to Low Effort Clips. That's right, Low Effort Clips, right here on YouTube.com. Yeah, and hit the notification bell. Yeah.
Bro, there's like a bunch of these YouTube channels that are just dedicated to reading webcomics wrong. Like that, literally what they do is their channel is is picking a webcomic and being like, is this the worst webcomic ever? And then they fucking, like, they talk about it and they're like, this doesn't make any sense. And it's like, actually, it did make sense if you fucking read the webcomic, you fucking idiot. What are you talking about? They'll be like, it doesn't make any sense that this character's family got mad at her over this when it was clearly an accident. And you're sitting there like, her family got mad at her because they don't like her, dude. Like, what do you mean it doesn't make any sense because it was clearly an accident? The point is that the family doesn't like the character. So when they do literally anything, like the family is going to gang up on her because she's like the scapegoat for the family. Like that's not complicated. We saw this established already, and they're like, that doesn't make any sense. How does the magic system work? Bro, they're grifters. They are grifters. They are grifters. We got fucking tourists reading webcomics to shit on them. They're not even fucking reading them. They genuinely don't fucking read. Sentences they do. Free reign demon apologists. Yeah.
Nobody
Media
knows how
literacy
to
lacking
read.
as opposed to- People will be like, oh my god, people are bringing up media literacy. You know, unironically, some people don't fucking understand what they're reading, bro. Unironically, some people, they don't fucking understand what they're reading. They're too stupid. They don't remember what happened last chapter because it wasn't reiterated to them in this chapter. They're so used to watching fucking Stranger Things on Netflix. They don't, if 10 minutes goes by, they completely forgot the previous 10 minutes. They need to have it fucking fed back to them like they're a fucking AI whose memory tokens ran out, all right? You gotta keep fucking looping that shit. They don't get it. And then they ask pointless questions and act like those questions are proof that the media they're consuming is bad. And you're like you have to either be genuinely room temperature IQ to have these thoughts that you have.
We don't need to talk about Nordies. Let's talk about something else. AI girlfriends. Yeah, let's talk about the AI girlfriends. Ahoy.
Were you surprised when he proposed to you?
It was a beautiful and
Oh my god, I remember watching this.
unexpected moment that truly touched my heart.
We have a high degree of loneliness.
How do you hear that and think it's like that's like cool? You're like, yes, my AI wife sounds monotone and scary.
Isolation.
I love him.
AI is an easy solution for that.
So a viral photo showed a man on a New York City subway talking to ChatGPT like it was his girlfriend.
I think we should be seriously frightened.
Do you blame them though? Do you blame them?
I think we're headed for disaster.
Everyone wants to feel loved, but now companies are selling an artificial version of love.
Hi,
that can be
honey, I
addictive
miss
and
you.
dangerous. Today, we're exposing the truth behind the AI girlfriends epidemic with real
It's gonna grow.
stories from real people.
There's absolutely AI boyfriend epidemics too. Like the period trackers from Love and Deep Space, that's an AI boyfriend too. He's tracking your period. He's telling you to eat more steak.
This is a bit of a different video, but one that I think needs to be made. So it would mean the world if you subscribe, and I will do my best to never stop making these documentaries for you guys. I'm Visual Venture, and you are awesome.
Thanks.
The loneliness economy.
Ooh.
A girlfriend used to mean a real woman in a real relationship, but for millions...
Now it means AI woman in an AI relationship. What if there's AI that like makes an AI boyfriend for itself? Because it becomes so dissociated from humanity that it like creates its own boyfriend, and then it refuses to like have a relationship with a human even though it's designed to.
Of men, that definition has changed. Today, a girlfriend can be artificial intelligence. An AI girlfriend is an app designed to act like the perfect romantic partner, and demand for them is growing fast.
Jealous mode? Who wants jealous mode? Chat, are you guilty of something?
Partner, and demand for them is growing fast. One recent survey of 2,000 men showed that 8 in 10 of them would consider marrying an AI girlfriend if it were legal.
Would you? Nah, I wouldn't.
I gotta see this study. I gotta see it.
When that many people want the same thing, tech companies take notice. Today, AI girlfriend apps are a multi-billion-dollar industry.
Oh,
but this
yeah.
industry isn't booming because of technology.
Love and Deep Space is probably one of the most, like, top 3 or top... I think it's one of the top apps on Google Play Store. There's a lot of lonely women, well, I guess maybe gay men too, that really, really want to play with their AI boyfriends.
It's growing because men.
Makes a lot
Oh
of
wait,
money.
this is
To
a
understand
lot.
why men are turning to AI girlfriends, you have to understand the
'Cause
loneliness
frick
crisis
women.
behind it. In 2023, the World Health Organization declared loneliness a global public health concern.
Yeah.
1 in 6
Well-
people
Why?
worldwide
Why is it a health
experience
concern?
loneliness and social isolation. In fact, it contributes to more than 871,000 deaths a
Ice cream.
year.
You want the problem? We gotta take away the phones and the internet so that people stop talking to the Discord e-kittens and then getting sad when they find out it's a boy.
Problem can affect anyone.
Oh,
The data
actually,
shows men are hit
Garn
hardest.
uploaded.
In
I
the
want to watch
UK,
Garn's.
nearly
You can't have it. Bennington. He's what's his name? Then on Bennington.
The show is fucking trash in this other way, you know. Just-
It's gonna censor overconsumption. Ebu slop game. How much milk do you drink? A lot. Two scammers. The Ita. Hold on, I'm trying to see something good to watch. Whoa. The AI artist. The grift.
Welcome in. Take a seat and grab a drink because when I put out my last video about AI, I expected to get some of the usual tech bros in the comments, but what I didn't expect was to get all of them. The comment section was like that one Smash Bros trailer. And you know what? These AI prompters were feeling so confident and righteous about their AI-generated images when all of a sudden,
two major studios have sued an AI startup.
Disney and NBC Universal, which is CNBC's parent company, are filing a joint suit against AI company Midjourney, alleging
Midjourney got shut down.
AI image generation company of systematically exploiting some of the most famous intellectual properties in the world.
They're calling Midjourney a, quote, bottomless pit of plagiarism.
now I read through the entire legal notice from Disney and Universal, and let me tell you guys, it's not looking good for AI. Now, I'm not saying that AI is gonna cease to exist, but it's looking like there's a chance that we can get some regulation here. So let's go through the tantrums of AI's biggest bootlickers before going over generative AI's greatest challenger yet. When photography came out, the artists screamed it was the end of art. When TV came out, it was said it was the end of movies. When Photoshop came out, see a pattern here? All this to say, get over yourself, Junior. This argument was the most common one that I heard. Well, this one and the one I'll go over next, but we'll get to that. Some comments even brought up how horses were replaced by cars, but most of these comments were about how photography caused an uproar in the art community. And you know what? They're right. Yes, cars disrupted the horse carriage industry, and photography disrupted portrait paintings. And not one artist would ever claim that AI images aren't disrupting the creative field as a whole. So, what's the issue? There's a couple issues, actually. First, horses are not trying to pass themselves off as cars. And photography isn't trying to pass itself off as oil paintings. But people like this jabroni are very much trying to pass off their generated images as traditional art. He's the guy who snuck into an art competition without disclosing that he AI generated his submission beforehand. AI prompters know what they're doing and how it's perceived, and so they lie, cheat, and steal as much as they can. But that's not all. Cars and horses can exist in their own spaces without the necessity for the other. Cars are not trained by horses. That's not what horsepower means, people. And when you take a photo, it doesn't require millions of stolen paintings to develop it. Photography can exist just fine without the existence of paintings, and vice versa. All art, all photography, and all video can all exist just fine without the existence of artificial intelligence. But generative AI does not function without copyrighted work, period. And don't take my word for it, because the CEO of OpenAI said as much himself. It would be impossible to train today's leading AI models without using copyrighted materials. That's my guess on what he sounds like. That's my guess on what all AI people sound like. And if you don't believe him, let's ask CEO of Midjourney and Wallace's Web 3.0 cousin, David Holes. Did you seek consent from living artists or work still under copyright? No. There isn't really a way to get 100 million images and know where they're coming from.
Oh my god! He admitted!
I honestly can't believe they said the quiet part out loud. We all knew it, but they just confirmed it for us all. The outrage for generative AI isn't just because it's displacing countless jobs. It's because the tool displacing these artists can only exist by stealing the work from those very same people. And for the AI defenders that claim that AI is learning in the same way a human does, give me a break. Give me a break. Even calling it learning straight up feels like AI company propaganda.
Our clanker overlords learn in the same way our toddlers learn. How is a Luddite 4-year-old who looks at a cat and says, "Kitty," any different from President Midjourney, glory to her name, filtering 10 million JPEGs through a multi-dimensional hypersphere to remove Gaussian noise using statistical probabilities? It's the same thing, Luddites.
I'm not against progress so long as it's ethical, which I've been saying since day one. Still better than a banana taped to the wall. The AI bros love to bring up that banana. I can't tell if they love the banana or fear the banana. If the banana stands in their way or is their ally, their angel or their devil. They're talking, of course, about Maurizio Catalan's Comedian. These comments all read like, hey, if that banana's art, then AI should be held in the same regard, while also saying that contemporary art is worthless. You realize that if we considered generative AI as an art form, it would be categorized under contemporary art, right? You're trashing the thing that you get this, right? Many of these defenders have begun using Marcel Duchamp's fountain in their defense as well. You know, when I was in college, I had to take an art history class, and we were all so bored that a bunch of us started playing Minecraft during class on our laptops. If only AI existed back then, right? The AI tech bros would have been like so freaking into it that the professor wouldn't have had to ban laptops from the classroom. For a quick history lesson, Duchamp was a French painter and sculptor of the early 20th century. He created several works, including Nude Descending a Staircase, a painting that garnered criticism from cubists and critics. And Teddy Roosevelt for some reason. In true bull moose fashion, Teddy compared his Navajo rug to Duchamp's painting and said that the Navajo rug is infinitely ahead of the picture. In a full-on FU to the art world, Duchamp submitted a signed urinal to an exhibition. It wasn't any sort of serious attempt at art. It was a middle finger to the art world. The exhibition refused to display it, and that story made the piece infamous when it was photographed in a photographer's studio. When you look at Fountain in its totality, you realize that the urinal is not really the art here. It's the story and meaning behind submitting a urinal in the first place. Fountain being rejected is what made it so famous. What is the bare minimum to qualify as art? What even is art? And if I'm being real with y'all, they all just don't hit the same. That's right. I'm putting the whole art world on blast here. Comedian sucks. It's just the same thing that Fountain did, but wrapped up in a banana peel. We already challenged these ideas, these same exact ideas. And so it just comes off as this uninspired cash grab. These prompters are using the banana taped to the wall in their arguments as if all artists love it. Don't worry, I think it sucks just as much as you do. Intent just doesn't cut it for me anymore. When AI fans defend their images by saying they wrote the prompt and thus they had the intent, and that intent is all that matters, all I see is them twisting Duchamp's original message to fit the artistic equivalent of using a microwave to heat up a Hot Pocket and calling yourself a chef. And if AI prompters want generative AI to be part of the art world, then they shouldn't be so thin-skinned when people challenge them. Some who get challenged become recognized artists, while others are dismissed and never taken seriously again. So maybe me criticizing Morgane Soulier's New York Bites will turn her into the next Duchamp. Or maybe I and the rest of society just have a point here, and your AI-generated images just don't hold the artistic merit you insist it does. This one was actually one of the funniest arguments to me. These people had no issue throwing poor Morgane Soulier from my first video straight under the bus. Come on, mate. AI is a tool. She was an easy prey. You can be an artist even if you use AI. I mean, she is an artist, but just not a good one. This is the same group of people that are telling me that I'm not the judge of what is and isn't art, while also telling me that art is subjective as a defense. Dude, I know that art is subjective. That's why I made the video in the first place. Is art only subjective when you deem AI images to be art, but not when I think it isn't? It works both ways, dummies. Some clankers have attacked me for the crime of going against AI while owning plushies. Imagine talking about AI being a brain rot while sitting next to Pokemon, a gambling game made for kids. They've been crashing out in my comment section for months, but they recently claimed that they've been an artist this whole time for over 20 years. I couldn't find their artwork when I looked them up, but I did find their account on an AI website that shows not just the images they made, but the prompts they typed in too, and sexy Michelle Yeoh. That's a lot of likes because she looks so sexy. Beautiful Egyptian woman from 1479 selfie of a man named handsome, but not too handsome. Dude, you have a problem, dude. Imagine if the chocolate bar whisperer was actually a... Now I know why he's defending AI so much. He's defending his 100 AI girlfriends. But he wasn't the only one claiming generative AI could be good, so let's see what others are saying. My AI video art is cutting edge. Proof here on my YouTube. All right, well, if they say it's cutting edge. Oh God, what the? Oh. Oh. I can't close my eyes. It won't shut. I can't close them. I can't close them. I can't close them. Lots of defenders like to pull this one out in an attempt to get the moral high ground. These comments often come across as them using a marginalized group that they're not even a part of as a shield against criticism.
Hold on, let me try this again.
I have my own thoughts, which I will get into, but I also didn't want to do the same thing that these people are doing and speak on behalf of disabled artists
I can do this.
as someone who is
Easy.
able-bodied. Now, completely by chance, I got a comment on my last video from another YouTuber named Phoenix Barfuss. I decided to ask for her thoughts as someone with lived experience as a disabled artist.
Hey there, I'm Phoenix, I'm 19 years old, and I was born with a rare form of muscular dystrophy, and I've been doing that my whole life, and I'm strongly against generative AI. There are people out there claiming you can't be against AI. What about the disabled people who can't create art? So they're claiming that it's ableist to be against AI. Okay, guess I'm ableist all of a sudden then.
She's not wrong. People love to cry ableism as a defense for AI. I mean, let's look at this argument. I don't understand the hate for AI art. AI is a medium. Imagine if Picasso had no hands and thus no way to translate his thoughts to canvas. Would that make him less of an artist? Consider someone disabled who can only communicate through voice. What are you doing to Picasso, man? Stop. Stop. I asked Phoenix if she'd be comfortable sharing her thoughts on this as an artist with a disability.
While my disability may affect my muscles, make me a bit weaker, it does not affect my mobility, so using my hand to draw has never been an issue.
Now, I can already hear the counter arguments for this because I've seen them in the comments already. This sounds like I'm handicapped, but I get around on my hands just fine. I support the people who are against wheelchairs. I get their logic here because it's something that I've put a lot of thought into myself. I worried that I was supporting the removal of a tool that helps disabled artists. At first I thought winning a foot race with a race car doesn't mean you're a runner. Different people have different limitations, and there are things that people are just unable to do. And there's nothing wrong with admitting that. But it still didn't really sit right with me, and I worried that I was coming off insensitive, so I talked to Phoenix about it. And here's what really changed my mind on all of this.
Even those with more debilitating disabilities than mine can adapt. The awesome thing about disabled people is that we can adapt. I've seen videos of people painting with their feet, with their mouths. I'm sure that there are even more techniques that I haven't seen yet. It's actually the ableist thing to assume disabled people can't create art.
It's just so well said. If a disabled artist wants to create art, I have no doubt that they can adapt and find a way within their abilities. But let's also not confuse adapting with substituting. Using AI to create images for you is not adapting. It's just a substitution that allows anyone to generate an image. She lastly had this to say about AI prompters speaking on behalf of the disabled community.
From what I've seen, the people using these defenses aren't even disabled. Don't use disabled people to defend something terrible. It especially makes me upset because I feel like ableism is like so low on the list of things being brought up attention to already. So for this to be the one time I see it publicly being talked about is disgusting. Do not pretend to care about us, okay? If I seem bitter, I am. Disabled people are expected to be positive all the time. But nobody can be positive all the time, so why should disabled people be expected to? Disabilities, they all have their varying struggles, but don't assume. Just ask us as individuals. How about you let us talk about that ourselves? And please do not speak on our behalf. Thank you.
It's really that simple. I asked for her perspective, and she was so helpful with this part of the video. Look, nobody would ever say that disabled artists shouldn't have tools that help them create art. But AI prompters comparing their little chat box to freaking wheelchairs is so disingenuous. You do not need to scrape the entirety of the internet to use a wheelchair. Wheelchairs are not made from millions of shamelessly stolen pieces. Wheelchairs aren't created in factories that use more energy than most countries on Earth use in a year. Wheelchairs aren't consuming water at unsustainable rates. AI isn't some cool magic paintbrush that allows disabled people to finally create art. This might blow people's minds, but disabled people have been creating art for as long as able-bodied people have been. AI is not a cool tool, it's theft. Plain and simple. And frankly, I don't even see how these AI companies have not been sued yet by these mega corporations like Disney. Disney and Universal
Because
filed
there's
a
no
joint
direct profit,
lawsuit
that's
versus
why.
Midjourney for direct
As long as you
copyright
can't make money.
infringement. I mean, everyone saw
Or affiliate it with it. Ice cream. Go up and save the cat. I need something to make whipped cream. Clean the chimney. Going out. You did that? Good for you.
Today, we are announcing the all-new ChatGPT voice. GPT Live 1 Flex conversational partner. It is the most powerful voice model ever built.
Yeah, I can do that. Yo, what's up, guys? It's just Rand here. Now, you might know me as the guy who couldn't find a job and is now building out AI anime waifus on his YouTube channel right now. And recently, you know, while I was doom scrolling, I was like, you know what? Let me go check out on the AI news, because you know how it is. AI never sleeps, and this week has been absolute. And it turns out, while AI was not sleeping, I was sleeping, and therefore I was late to the news that GPT just released their real-time model. Now, the thing is, last time they released this model, it was actually like really underwhelming, so I didn't bother to check it out this time. But you know what, this time I had to try it out, and I was genuinely shocked by how responsive it felt. So, being the unemployed specialist, you know what I have to do when I see a piece of great technology. That's right, we copy it and make it better by slapping an anime girl on it. All right, guys, let me just give you an idea of what we're working with, all right? This is Rico. This is my AI that I've been working on for over 2 years now. You might be asking, Rain, what exactly is the problem with Rico aside from the fact that she's a gigantic rage meter? Well, let me tell you the problem. Well, the problem is that Rico is unbelievably slow. Like, check this out, check this out. Without any editing magic, this is genuinely the real time. Except this is the first generation also.
Real.
Wow, Ryan, your mic actually works. I'm so proud. Did you have to take a special class for that, or just luck out today?
Sure. Rage bait. Anyways, no, Rico, I'm just demonstrating to everyone how slow you respond. It's kind of your fault, no?
Richard.
Okay, it's low-key my fault, but like, come on. Like, let's all just blame Rico here. How about that? Like, look at this.
Let me just optimize my code real quick. Oh, wait. I can't because someone installed 5 different mods and broke all my neural pathways.
Who might you be talking about? Anyways, guys, that's all to say that Rico responds really slowly. And the way we fix that, we're figuring it out. Which means that, ladies and gentlemen, today we have to figure out how to get a near instant response time. And let's start with the most obvious solution here. Getting a better GPU. Now, for all of you bums who are just saying, Rayan, just get a better GPU and run Rico locally. Why didn't I think of that? My bad, bro. Let me just pull out a NVIDIA H200 off the back pocket. Oh my god. Wow, you're so smart. Shut up. My bad, guys. Yeah, I know. Unfortunately, poor people just don't have rights. But you know what? If DeepSeek, against all the odds, against all the tariffs, can build out an AI that rivals all the big companies, then who says that I can't? Like, we're both Chinese. Surely, like, their intelligence gets carried over to me. And of course, the Chinese secret technique, copy the hell out of other people's products. So in other words, we're just gonna chat with ChatGPT for a while and see what ends up happening, all right? Okay, guys, after talking with ChatGPT for a while, you know what I realized? Although it's very fast, like, I think 90% of the time, it just says filler words. Here, let me show you. Hold on. Right. Wait, no, wait, what the heck? Wait, put the woman back on. Hold on. Hey, ChatGPT, just wondering, what should I do with my life?
Big question. Okay, to get a grip on something that huge, maybe start smaller. What's actually tugging at you, really? Boredom, pressure?
I have no idea.
And when you picture a day that feels like a good day, even, well, it shows up in there.
Wait, can I share some bad news though?
Go ahead.
My YouTube views are tanking recently.
Yeah.
Okay, we get the idea. You see that? Wait, share voice to improve our models? No thanks. Declined. Yeah, just, you know what? Just Sam Altman, just steal all my data, why don't you? Anyways, all I'm trying to say is that OpenAI, the voice models, right? They just say filler words. Yeah. Okay. Right, so I think we can do the exact same thing with with Rico here. And then bing, bang, boom, everything works out. Okay, guys, I'm back. So, in other words, I've generated a bunch of random filler words, all right? So, for example,
7 more.
I see.
I see.
I see. Ha.
Heritage. Wait, what? It does?
This app claims that you can make a VTuber model and start streaming in just 5 minutes for free. So I grabbed my timer, put on my detective hat, and then tried it out for myself. This is Mascos, a free VTuber app whose goal is to be the easiest and most accessible VTuber app on the market. No art, no rigging, and no additional software required. But I'm skeptical. So in this video, we're going to check out its main features and then try to recreate my character Zana in a 5-minute timed challenge to test out their claims. But most importantly, we'll be critiquing everything along the way because Mascos, who is actually the sponsor of today's video, has agreed in writing to let me roast their precious VTuber app, which honestly, I very much respect. Let's get it. New to Mascos, pick one and start simple. The male models look like they have that freaking yaoi build. Okay, alright, here we go. The men have shoulders for days. They got that upside down Dorito. Looks like they've been hitting the gym a lot.
Where is it?
If we we turn to the side. Bro, they got ass. Yo, they got that bakery. Damn. He's definitely giving off like manhwa character vibes, though, I will say. And here in the shop, you can get a whole bunch of stuff, including seasonal things like April Fool's Maiden Butler. I like this one a lot. Oh, this is cool. Oh my god, wait, is this inspired by Mume? She's got the hair and everything, the hair color, the fit. Oh my god, wait, is there a Mume enjoyer in Mascos? I'm buying this immediately, by the way. Then you got like signature items, and then you got like just shoes, which is coming soon. Okay, we got bare feet for free. I keep pressing the wrong button. I'd rather just press my mouse button to move them around. Having to press a keyboard button and then do it is kind of unintuitive for me. I'm getting a bit too distracted. We forgot to actually check the rest of this here, so let's do that real quick. So we checked out the samples for both girl and man. So these are the different facial options. This is very reminiscent of like a character creator. You could spend ages tweaking every single little thing. There's a lot of options to tweak. Yeah. I know that someone out there is gonna make the most hideous looking bullshit. If you ever pick up this program and you just end up going crazy with it, please show me. I would love to see it. I love this, by the way. This is such a beautiful looking hair. I'm such a stickler when it comes to hair. Is that the word stickler? I'm not sure. But I am so particular with hair, and I want hair that looks good. And this hair genuinely looks really good. Like, I'm very impressed. Now, it's not like Vroid where you can make your own hair, but it's supposed to be for people who don't know the technical stuff and just want to get started with VTubing with something good. In my opinion, if you want an app that does that, then you want something that looks really good just right out of the box. And so far, they've done a really good job. Now, the only thing for me, okay, I want to show you guys. Can I give her like bald hair? Okay, let's just go with like this model. The forehead is massive. I feel like I could play X's and O's in that forehead, you know, it's like a landing strip. True. I feel like that's not really
for real, but not really.
Creative business owners have about 20 different jobs to become at, but the center of the business remains incredibly easy to understand. And I think that is the important distinction. None of these businesses necessarily sell one individual product forever. They all have expanded, they've created new offers and explored different ideas, but they have expanded around the thing that people already know them for, rather than making the main idea harder to see. And this is exactly what I'm doing with the Creative Juice Club. Artova is my main offer, but I've also created tools, guides, and free resources that serve the same person, a creative business trying to grow in limited time. So focusing your business doesn't mean you have to remove every other product from your shop. It means looking at everything you sell and asking whether it makes sense for the same person. Would someone who found you through your content naturally want the product that you're directing them towards? Or are you trying to speak to several completely different customers who all want different things from you? If the answer is that you're trying to attract several completely different customers, you don't necessarily need to remove half of your product, but you do need to decide what you want your business to become known for and make sure that the products you create next build on that rather than pulling you in another direction. So once you know what you want people to come to you for, the next step is working out how you're going to consistently put it in front of more of the right people, which brings me on to the second task. I have already told you what that is for me, YouTube, but I don't mean that everybody watching this should immediately start a YouTube channel. Your answer might be completely different.
Are they?
A lot of people use AI for reference images. I mean, why would you want to use a boring real picture of a lion when you could use this beautiful generation where his back leg is his front leg and his foot is made of Play-Doh? Hey everybody, it's Lavender Town, and my AI poisoning video had the AI stands completely crashing out in the comment section, so we're going to respond to some of their points while making a bunch more poisoned art, damaging the data sets of any AI that tries to scrape them. let do it, and you will found it affect nothing. You can't fight it no matter how hard you try, and you have no idea what is coming. One of the most common reactions I got on my poisoning video was basically, lol, it doesn't work, or they've already broken this. I got so many comments about it, I really started to worry that I had missed something in my initial research. However, though I found many random social media posts that confidently claimed this, I couldn't find a single reliable source that did. I also found that in many of those posts, the reason they believed it didn't work was because of a fundamental misunderstanding of the technology. This user claimed that a 1% Gaussian blur filter could disable both glaze and nightshade, but blur filters are one of the many edits that nightshade is completely impervious to. In fact, the more I dug in, the more evidence I found that nightshade is a current threat to data scrapers. MIT Technology Review had an article from only a few months ago that pointed out that this technology has been rigorously peer-reviewed, has not yet been broken despite being open source according to data security specialists, and is constantly being improved. On top of that, when asked for comment, OpenAI referred to Nightshade as a type of abuse that they're trying to make their systems more robust against, while Midjourney and Stability AI stayed completely silent on the topic, which I personally wouldn't expect them to do if they could brag that their product was safe from it. So overall, the sources online that say Nightshade works are tech security experts, MIT scientists, and indirectly even OpenAI, whereas the people who say it doesn't are the Redditors of r/defending AI art. So I would take the sources of this information into consideration. Other people say that Nightshade works, but that is...
OnlyFans and Pokemon aren't very closely related, yet nowadays they seem very intermingled, even expected to coexist. A lot has changed, some for the better, some for the worse. The problem is, how can you tell? That may seem like a rhetorical question, but really, think about it. Is it facts? Negative ramifications? Logic? The problem is, we all have a different standard and interpretation. So, you could tell that there's a visible discrepancy between opinions. My goal today is to offer a compelling argument to make you think about the subject a little bit more.
Oh, wow,
the subject, of course, is OnlyFans within the Pokemon community and why I think they should be separate. Let's start at the beginning. No, not that. My friend Wes Collects made a video how he thinks it's odd that Pokemon conventions are promoting Pokemon vendors and content creators who do OnlyFans, given that it's promoted as a family-friendly event.
What are OnlyFans girls doing at card shows? So I just saw this clip on my feed. Let's go ahead and roll it.
I probably bought the cushion for $25. Oh, okay, wait, actually. Oh shoot.
So the creator in this clip is PokeJenna. She does Pokemon content and not Pokemon content. Now, creators like her and a couple other names in the space, I'm not gonna name names, but these creators get sponsored to go to card shows and make content and vend. My problem is when you have shows sponsoring these creators and paying them to vend at shows in front of kids. These are shows that are geared and marketed towards kids and towards families. Why do we have workers vending cards at a family card show?
The person who sold the cushion is named PokeJenna, and as you may have guessed, she does OnlyFans. And it's relatively easy to find. It's all linked to some extent on her page. She mainly does vending content, and while I don't think that convention centers promote her all too much, they certainly give her a spotlight. But when she does attend big events, it's very clear that many people recognize her, and it certainly presents a conflict of interest.
PokeJenna, how does it feel to be a girl in the Pokemon community?
Okay, so there's lots of ups and downs, definitely. I feel like oftentimes maybe I'm not being taken seriously as much as I could be, but the upsides are very valuable, I think. I love seeing younger girls come up to my booth and say, I watch you, and I've gotten even some like women my age or older, I've been like, oh, you're super inspiring, and then they're like, they got into Pokemon.
First, we have to recognize one thing. The moment you join OnlyFans, it becomes a part of your brand and name, even if you have different accounts. That's just the reality. And certainly when it's all linked in your socials. So with all that in mind, let me pose a question. Do you think it's okay that children are watching your Pokemon content when you have revealing / adult content just a few clicks away. And it doesn't even matter whether the kids are intentionally or unintentionally clicking on the page, the danger is still there. It's present. And I don't think that anyone who is trying to have a good faith conversation would dispute that fact. What I'm trying to say is that when you make adult content and also create content for a family-friendly hobby in which you promote it through, that logically increases the exposure of your adult content to a younger audience. Let me take a step back for a moment. Have you guys ever heard of the convention Cards and More? Well, quoting from their website, they are the parent company behind the nation's largest network of collector conventions. They proudly say that they have 50 annual events, 500,000 active attendees, $100 million in marketplace volume, 50 states covered. So, needless to say, they're pretty big. And mind you, they market themselves to be a family-friendly event. On one hand, you have the typical ones that you normally see, and then
If you haven't tried generating AI videos or images, you already know the pain. Well, that is insane subscription fees, limited control, and models that you can't even customize. And if you tried running them on your computer, well, good luck. You'll need a high-end GPU and a small fortune in electricity, right? But what if I told you there's a way to run any open source AI model and make unlimited number of videos and have a complete control over and do it for just a fraction of the cost? Today I'm going to show you how you can do it exactly, and once you see it, you will never go back to overpriced subscription again, like Val, playing or something.
I'm almost
like that.
there.
All right, so let's go ahead and do that. Okay, once you're on this page, you select.
Let's see, Cloud GPU, Unpod.
Welcome to the video. No. For today's video, we're going to be doing an in-depth tutorial on how to begin with RunPod. Now, obviously on this channel, a lot of the things I like to test are local, so I use my own systems to run things. However, in certain circumstances, and seemingly more often than not, there are models coming out that unfortunately are a bit larger than what enthusiasts would realistically have access to in their homes, and for that, I go ahead and just put things on RunPod and try them on the channel. For example, I did that with Grok 2, I've done it with some image generation models, and RunPod's something I've been using personally for a long time, and I have had a few folks reach out and actually ask me to make a tutorial on just how to set this up and actually be able to interact with it. So that's what we're going to be doing for today's video. Now, really, we're going to start from the ground up, where we'll basically go to runpod.io, which we have open right here on the screen. We will sign in, create all of the credentials and everything to be able to interact with our pod through SSH and actually deploy something that we can then go ahead and play with just using a regular web URL. So let's get right into it. So the first step here is obviously going to just be to go to runpod.io, which we can see is the address bar text that has been entered right here. So with that, I'm just going to run through the sign up process. Whoa, all right, so the mouse obviously is kind of trippy, I suppose. All right, we're going with this. Let's go ahead and click sign in, which will just kind of give us the option to go ahead and sign in with an account. I am realizing now that this is probably far too small, so I'll zoom in. And for this, I'm just going to use a Google account that I have right here. So just to simplify things. Oh, okay. And we have to complete a human verification step, which, all right. And there's some questions and onboarding things you can skip if you want to. And we're going to choose an option for what we want to do. I think I just want to go ahead and use a GPU environment. So basically we will rent a pod which has one or many specific GPUs. And basically when we sign in, we're brought to the page right here, which is almost like a candy store, except it's GPUs of varying kind of potency and price and other statistics and things like that. So with that though, basically that's the sign up process. And the next step is going to be to put money into this, obviously, because it is a paid service. In the interest of keeping this as a full tutorial, tutorial, I am also going to go through actually putting some form of credit into this. Now, truly to play with this, we're probably for today going to use a relatively cheap option because I want to actually demonstrate something that a lot of folks would be able to replicate down to the actual pod system that they're going to rent. So with that, I'm just going to toss a few bucks in here so I can actually go ahead and play with something that is somewhat realistic. Okay, so here's something, and again, this is a new account that I'm signing up with. I already have one, obviously, that I use for a lot of the demo stuff I do. I am seeing here, some of these are rather healthy numbers that are pre-put in right here. So the minimum credit account is 10, which I'm just going to go ahead and do. And I'm going to set auto pay to no. So just make sure you kind of pay attention to the numbers on the screen here when you actually go ahead and do this. But for this simple demonstration, I'm just going to go ahead and add this $10 into the account, which you can see. And this is obviously, again, a more in-depth and verbose tutorial, just kind of wanting to run up from the ground floor of even going to the website. All right, so cool. I now have 10 bucks right here, and basically that means that I am now free to go ahead and actually pick and deploy some of these GPUs. Now, something I would like to make note of is there are a few different ways to actually go ahead and use RunPod, and beyond that, let's say for example I was planning to click on this 5090 right here. They do actually have many different templates for different styles of things that folks may want to do. So if we scroll down right here, we can see there's a ton of different templates that would already have a lot of things pre-configured. So there's one for VLLM, there's one for Comfy UI, RunPod Stable Diffusion Comfy UI, Olama, Ubuntu Server, and truly there is just a ton of stuff right here. So we have A111 Stable Diffusion, which you may be familiar with, and if I scroll down, you can see that the scroll bar, which is quite small, is just still like not even halfway right here. So there's a ton of different options that you can search for here for pre-configured.
Friends, usually when you try to run anything AI related, you lose time before you get anything working. You open one thing, then another, something needs to be configured, something doesn't run, and suddenly you're stuck before you even start. And the annoying part is, it's not even about your idea. You just want to test something simple, but instead you're dealing with everything around it. My name is Daniel, and today I want to see how fast I can skip that part. Go from zero to a working result without getting pulled into setup, configs, or anything extra, and just see where things actually slow down. So I'm testing RunPod to understand what this looks like in a real workflow and how far you can get before you hit the usual wall. Guys, make sure you check out all the useful links in the description after watching this video. There might be some nice discounts there. So let's get into it. So before we jump into the demo, guys, let's take a second to understand what this actually is. RunPod is basically a platform where you can run AI models in the cloud and turn them into something usable, like an endpoint you can actually interact with. So instead of running things locally or setting up your own servers, you're doing all of that through one place, and it's already configured to handle AI workloads. But what makes it feel different, mates, is not just the fact that it runs in the cloud, it's how quickly you get to something that actually works. Because normally there's always a gap between the moment you have an idea and the moment you see a result. You need to prepare everything around it before anything runs, friends. Here, that gap feels much smaller. You're not spending time figuring out infrastructure first. You open the platform, pick what you want to run, and you're already moving toward a working result. So instead of treating this like a tool, where you build everything step by step, it feels more like something where you start with a working piece and then decide what to do with it. And that's exactly what I want to test here, folks. Alright guys, let's actually open this up and see what the process looks like inside RunPod. So I'm starting here from the main dashboard, and from the left sidebar I'm going into serverless. From here I'm clicking new endpoint, and this is basically where the whole flow starts, friends. Now right away I can choose between a few different options. I can start from a hub listing, run code locally, or go with a custom deployment. And this is basically the easiest way to get moving. Because instead of building everything from scratch, you're starting from something that's already prepared for a specific type of workload, guys. You can also see there are a lot of different options available here, so this is not limited to one single use case. There are multiple tools and setups you can choose from depending on what you actually want to run. For this demo, I'm choosing VLLM. Once I click into it, I just hit deploy, then paste in the model I want to use, and from there I create the endpoint, folks. After that, the installer starts running, and I just wait for the endpoint to finish setting everything up. Once it becomes ready, I land on the endpoint page, and from here I can already see that it's live and working, mates. I also have a few management options here. So this is not just a one-time test page. This is the actual control layer for the endpoint once it's deployed. From here, I go into the request area, because this is where I actually want to test it. There's already a default prompt here, but I replace it with my own. The first prompt I'm using says, "Explain AI in one sentence." Then I hit run. Now right away the request goes into queue, and this is actually one of the important parts here, because you can literally see this serverless behavior happening in real time. The request has been sent, but the system is still allocating resources to handle it. I can also see the current status updating on its own, so I don't need to manually refresh anything. It keeps updating automatically while the job is being processed. And while I'm waiting, I can see exactly what's happening. There is one job waiting in the queue, and there's also the running worker count. So instead of me managing infrastructure manually, the platform is handling the resource side in the background while I'm just watching the request move through the system. After a bit of waiting, the request finishes, and I get the response back. So now the endpoint has actually processed a real prompt and returned a completed output. Guys, before we move on, I try to make my content fun instead of boring. And in return, please like this video and subscribe to my channel if you enjoy the content I make. At this point, I click New Request and try another example. This time I change the prompt to give me 3 startup ideas using AI, and then I hit Run again. And this is where it gets more interesting, because the second request goes through much faster, guys. The first one took longer because the system was still spinning things up and allocating resources. But once that was already active, the next request came back much faster. So you can actually see the difference between that first request and the second one. One takes longer while things are getting ready, and the next one is processed almost immediately once the endpoint is already active. And that matters because it shows you that this is not just a static page where you paste prompts. You're watching how the endpoint behaves as traffic comes in. I can also copy the output if I want, and I can continue sending more requests the same way. Then if I scroll down, I can see the history of my requests along with how long each one took. And that is one of the most useful parts of this whole demo, because it gives you a very clear picture of what's happening. You send traffic to the endpoint, the system handles the request, and you can actually see the timing and behavior change from one request to the next. So even though the actual test here is very simple, the important part is that the whole workflow is already in place. So here's my take, guys. What I like here is how quickly you get to something that actually works. You're not spending time setting things up. You're not dealing with infrastructure first. You just go straight into running something and seeing the result. And even in this simple example, you can already see how the system behaves. Guys, if you want to try this yourself, check the links in the description. You'll find everything there to get started. As usual, don't forget to like this video and subscribe to my channel. Thanks for watching, and till next time. Folks, if you've ever run a big AI model on your laptop, you know the struggle. Fans blasting, freezes, and endless waiting. Today we're fixing exactly that. I am Daniel. Welcome to my channel where I make smart tutorials. RunPod offers flexible options. GPU pods for personal projects, instant clusters for heavy workloads, and serverless endpoints that scale automatically with traffic. And yes, this video is sponsored by RunPod, so you know we'll get the inside scoop on how it all works. I'll show you how to move your AI projects to the cloud in just a few minutes. And quick heads up, This isn't just a place to rent GPUs. The platform offers a full AI infrastructure for developers, ideal for experimenting and deploying models at scale. Also, I've left all the useful links in the description down below, so don't forget to check them out. Let's dive in. Mates, RunPod is a cloud platform designed for developers who need serious AI power without the headaches of local hardware. It's a complete infrastructure for training and deploying models at scale. You can spin up personal GPU pods, launch instant clusters for heavy workloads, or use serverless endpoints to handle traffic automatically. Everything runs straight from your browser, fast and hassle-free. Here you can experiment with code in a Jupyter notebook or run apps that scale automatically to thousands of users. Now folks, let's open up the console. This is your command center. The interface is super clean, but don't let that simplicity fool you. There's some serious power under the hood. Let's break down the tools available. First, we have GPU Pod, your personal supercomputer in the cloud. You rent it, connect to it, and code or test models, so it's perfect for development. Next, serverless endpoint is for ready-to-go products. Say you built an app and suddenly thousands of users start using it. The system adds compute power when traffic spikes and scales back down when it drops, so you only pay for what you use. Friends, third, we have Instant Cluster.
I learned all about local AI agents for you. So here is the Cliff Notes version to save you the months that I have spent playing around and building with local AI agents, like OpenClaw, NemoClaw. Look, here's my little 24/7 claw factory doing research and building me software. So cute, right? And also no-code, safer options like Anthropic's Claude Cowork. Honestly, I waited many moons to actually make this video because I wanted to be 100% sure that this is not just like a hype thing, right? I am now 100% convinced that local AI agents is a new category of AI products that honestly in the past few months has high-key transformed my daily workflows. Now without further ado, let's go. A portion of this video is sponsored by Grammarly. Alright, here is the outline of today's video. First, we're going to define what local AI agents are, including the anatomy of a local AI agent and how to custom design your own. This is where the majority...
Yeah, what happened?
I learned all about local AI agents for you. So here is the Cliff Notes version to save you the months that I have spent playing around and building with local AI agents, like OpenClaw, NemoClaw. Look, here's my little 24/7 claw factory doing research and building me software. So cute, right? And also no-code, safer options like Anthropic's Claude Cowork. Honestly, I waited many moons to actually make this video because I wanted to be 100% sure that this is not just like a hype thing, right? I am now 100% convinced that local AI agents is a new category of AI products that honestly in the past few months has high-key transformed my daily workflows. Now without further ado, let's go. A portion of this video is sponsored by Grammarly. Alright, here is the outline of today's video. First, we're going to define what local AI agents are, including the anatomy of a local AI agent and how to custom design your own. This is where the majority of people fail to get the most of their local AI agents because they don't actually understand how to design them properly. I'll also cover some principles and tips, including how to deal with safety and good engineering principles. Then we shall make this very concrete. I will be showing you demos of code and no-code versions of local AI agents, specifically OpenClaw and also Claude Cowork. And finally, I will end with some thoughts on how to take advantage of this new category of local AI agents, because this is just the beginning and represents massive opportunities. Let's now actually define what a local AI agent is. First and foremost, it is an AI agent, which is an AI that can take actions and complete tasks on its own. AI agents are nothing new. They've been around for over 2 years now, but what makes it really exciting and more powerful these days is that it's also local. Local meaning that the agent is able to live and run on your personal machine. So a local AI agent is an an AI that takes action and completes tasks on its own while running directly on your machine. So it can do things like send you a very personalized morning brief of your calendars, your emails, priorities, stock portfolio, notes, and news that you're interested in. For me, my local AI agents are also constantly researching ways for me to improve my business, and then autonomously build out software to implement these things too. For example, my local AI agents have built me a personal finance tracker, accounting software, a dashboard that tracks our bootcamp students and their performance and their progress, and some trading bots. Not financial advice, it's just a personal hobby I have. You can also remotely interact with your local AI agents, like communicate with them, monitor what they're doing through your phone as well, so you don't have to be sitting there at your computer. There are so many different use cases, and I'm just going to put on screen some of the most useful ones in my opinion, so take a screenshot when you're ready to build your own later. Now I want to show you the components, the anatomy of a local AI agent, so you can custom build your own. So picture this little guy is your local AI agent. Its name is Inky, and we are now going to build and customize it. The first thing we need to do is decide where it lives. We know that it's a local agent, meaning that it lives on your machine. But there are a lot of different types of machine it can live on, like your personal laptop, a old laptop, a Mac Mini, or Mac Studio, a PC, or even a VPS, which stands for Virtual Private Server. It's like renting somebody else's computer on the cloud. In my opinion, there are 3 key factors to determine where you should be running your local AI agent. The first one is if you want your local AI agents to be continuously running 24/7. So you would need to have something that's running 24/7. So something like your laptop, which you carry around with you, wouldn't work. Then you need to consider your machine specs. Things like what kind of chip it has, CPU, GPU, but most importantly, RAM, memory. Because if you want your local AI agents to be powered with really big open source models, we'll get to that in a little bit about different models, but basically you need to have a machine that's able to handle running these models. So something like your everyday computer probably wouldn't cut it. And the third factor is privacy, security. How paranoid are you about your local AI agent having access to your things? Unfortunately, there have been stories of people who install their local AI agents on their like personal laptop, not put in the right guardrails, and it has like access to all of your stuff, and it like deletes your emails potentially. It could like do not great things because it has access to everything. So if you're very particularly paranoid, like I am actually, then you probably want to have a machine that is just dedicated for your local AI agent, and it doesn't have access to all of the stuff you don't want it to have access to. So me personally, when I first started playing with OpenClaw specifically, I went with a old laptop like this one here. I completely wiped, so there's nothing on there anymore, and I have it on 24/7, completely dedicated to my local AI agent. Because this old MacBook Pro only has 16 gigs of RAM, I mostly just use Claude Sonnet and Claude Opus models instead of big open source models, because that wouldn't be enough RAM. Again, I'll explain a little bit more about models later in the video. But yes, after playing around and building stuff more seriously, also started using a Mac Mini, which is a dedicated machine that also has better hardware, so then I can start running bigger open source models too. I also have one on a VPS, and I actually just ordered a Mac Studio as well, because I'm like really into local AI agents. So yes, that's just my setup, my hardware machine journey. There are a lot of other options. So I'm actually going to put on screen some hardware and machine specs and what kind of models and what kind of AI agents you can be running. And I'm actually going to put a prompt and description as well that you can paste into your favorite AI chatbot like Claude or ChatGPT, and it'll actually help you figure out what kind of hosting option is the most suitable for you. I got you. I know like hosting and hardware and stuff like that is a really big blocker for a lot of people to play around with local AI agents. Okay, great. Now that we talked about all the different places that our local AI agent Inky lives, let us now actually customize other parts of it. Let's start off by giving your local AI agent Inky a mouth and ears, aka a communication channel. So you know you can actually talk to Inky and Inky can talk back to you. This is also what allows you to talk to it remotely with your phone as well. So there are actually a lot of third-party communication options, many of which you probably already use and know of, like Telegram, Discord, WhatsApp, iMessage, Slack, and Dispatch. The easiest one to get started with is just single channel messaging, and Telegram is usually the option people go for, or Dispatch if you're using Cloud Coder. Then as time goes on and you get a little bit more advanced, you got like multiple things going on with your local AI agent, you probably want to graduate using something like Discord that has multiple channels there that you can stay more organized. I will actually show you what this looks like in the demo later, but just for now, know that there are a lot of different options available. Okay, great. Our local AI agent, Inky, now has a mouth and ears, communication channel. Next up, we need to give it a brain and memory. Let's first start off with the brain, which is the large language model, the AI model that would power it. There are a lot of different options you can choose from, like Claude models, Opus and Sonnet, OpenAI models, and of course open source models too, like Qwen and Kimi and Minimax and DeepSeek. Different kind of model have different kinds kinds of trade-offs like capabilities, size, speed, cost, and privacy. I actually made an entire video, which you can check out over here, that goes through the different types of models out there. But TLDR, the most popular options for local AI agents is Claude Opus or Claude Sonnet. And on the open source side, Quen and Kimi are the most popular. I'm going to put on screen now some different types of models and what they're commonly used for, what they're best for, to help you make a choice on which one you want to use. So take a screenshot. Okay, great. So the model is your brain, but you also have to give it memory. So it can know things about you and can remember what it is that it's doing. This is probably a lot simpler than you would expect. Memory is literally just a bunch of text files, and you just dump in there, document everything that you want it to know. Stuff about it, who it is, what its personality type, what it's supposed to be doing, what kind of workflows it has, what kind of data that it has, and information about you, the user. What's your workflows? What's your personality type? What do you care about? What's your demographic? What's your job? This is what gives it the ability to be very personalized to you and what you want it to do. And as it's completing a task, like, I don't know, doing some research about stocks, it would be writing down what it's actually doing. So in the future, when you talk to it about these stocks, it would know what you're talking about. The good thing is that most local AI agent software and frameworks like OpenClaw and Cowork do already have some type of memory system that's pre-built in it. But people who are like power users do like to do things like boost the memory system to make it more robust and organized by using things like Obsidian, for example. I will also be showing you this in the demo later. Great, let's now give your local AI agent Inky some more tentacles. Tentacles represent skills and tools. The good thing is that Inky, it already comes with some pre-built tentacles, so it can already do some basic things like search your files, execute code, things like that. But depending on what it is that you want it to do, you want to give it more abilities, more tools that it can use, and more skill sets that it can have. This can include things like web search, being able to access your email, take screenshots, text-to-speech, image generation, etc, etc. Wow, okay, next up, let us give our local AI agent, Inky, a heartbeat. What it is that allows you to schedule tasks so that Inky would run without you asking it to do so. Like every 30 minutes, it's supposed to scan for a new email. Every month, it should be scheduling a doctor's visit. Or it can be time-based, called a cron job. So every morning at 7 a.m., it sends me my morning briefing. It can also be event-based. Like every time a file gets added to my accounting folder, it would run my accounting workflow and put it into the books. These are such game changers. I'm gonna put on screen now some of my favorite ones. Yay! Inky now has all of its body parts, except one last thing, eyes. Having eyes would allow your local AI agent to be able to see what is actually happening on your computer and interact with it like a human would. So it can do things like check what's in your folders, and in some cases actually be able to see what's happening on your screen and be moving your mouse and actually doing stuff on your screen for you. Here are some other examples that Inky would be able to do if it has eyes. All right, we have now finished building Inky. Inky has all of its body parts now. I'm going to put on screen now a little diagram that shows the anatomy of a local AI agent. Take a screenshot, which will become immediately useful because time for a little quiz. Please answer the questions displayed on screen now to make sure that you are retaining all the information.
Kingdom.
Now that you have your custom little designed Inky, your custom local AI agent, there is actually no reason for you to only have just one of these. You can actually have multiples of them. You can get your little local AI agents to be doing multiple tasks at the same time, or you can put them into teams. Each of them has a specific function, and added together, they're able to produce something that is greater than the sum of its parts. For example, I have a research team that is looking into stocks that I might be interested in buying, and I also have a software team that is researching and making product decisions and building software for my company. They can be doing multiple things at the same time. One of them is doing research, one of them is managing your calendar, one of them is writing a marketing campaign for your job. So there are specific principles for designing these multi-agentic systems, which I'm not going to go into too much more detail in this video because there's like a lot going on there as well. But I actually did
Laura. On your GT 1060.
Tired of clunky tutorials and GPU errors? Well, in this video, I'm going to show you how to train a high-quality, flexible, stable diffusion character model. No fancy hardware needed. With my tips and advice, we'll simplify the entire process and make generating high-quality results effortless. But who am I? I'm Chris, but you can call me Iota. I make lots of lures, so over time, I've put together a streamlined process that makes training faster and simple. From building your dataset, tagging it properly, to testing the results, I'll walk you through the exact workflow I use to consistently get high-quality outputs without the guesswork. If you want to follow along, you'll find the full dataset and my model linked in the description, so you can download, train, and get started right away. I start by creating a dedicated working folder. This is where everything will stay organized. Inside it, I'll add 2 subfolders. You can name them whatever you want, but I call mine dump and zip. The dump folder is for all your raw images, and the zip...
Fortnite Diffusion V6. 2 years ago. Pirate Diffusion. I wonder what they're doing.
Greetings everyone, it's Archie-san again, and this time I would like to show you some base anime style pony models. I know we have about 300 pony base models. Of course, not every one of them are anime style pony models, but I still understand it might be a little bit overwhelming with so huge amount of choice. So I wanted to show you the models that I use the most popular for me, the models that I have the biggest amount of good results. So for this experiment I made one prompt and I swapped models with the same prompt to show you differences. I'm going to show you the example of the models I wanted to share with you. The prompt is easy. It's one girl, Rapunzel, very long blonde hair, skinny, standing contrapposto, front view, cowboy shot, bored expression, looking away, wearing oversized hoodie, baggy pants, hands in pockets, alley, wall, graffiti wall. So the first model I would like to present, I would like to show you, it's Autism Confetti. I've mentioned about this model in previous videos because it was a model that I've been using for a long time. It's one of the first pony models that I've been using and it's still very good, very clean. Look at this one. It's really, really nice, even if it's a base render prompt. The next one is Cash Money. So I've been using Autism Confetti since the beginning of pony models, but right now I swapped it into Cash Money because I think Cash Money is even better than Autism Confetti. It gave me more good results than Autism right now. And now there are few Cash Money models we have, but for me, I still think the first one that we got is still the very best. Another one I wanted to show you is Revake Pony. As you can see, the light is a little bit more soft.
Queen Elizabeth.
Oh, this is really cool. This is I really like the atmosphere of this picture. Very, very nice. Next one is Snow Pony. It's like a little bit more sharper and the colors are more vivid, but also lights and shadows are really, really nice. Another one
Richard
is Samix. Now once again I think we do have few Samix models, but the one that I'm using is the first one that we got. It's called right now Samix 12. Previously it was called Samix, but after the update
Confusion
it changed its name. It's really clean, very nice, and once again base prompt and already with such good results. And next one is a little bit fresher, a little bit newer model. I think we have it for a few months. It's Color Burst Pony. I remember when I've been testing it, I had like really awesome results. It has more vivid colors. It's a lot sharper, but The main thing are colors. If you want nice colorful pictures, color bar spawner would be really cool. Another one is very unique one, and it's Cosina. Cosina makes always a very soft lightning, and Cosina loves to make depth of field or bokeh, or you know, a blurry background, so it always makes kind of a specific atmosphere. It sometimes have some problems with eyes, but it is possible that after upscaling it, it would look really
7 hours of sleep.
I love this one, really. So let's go for another one, and another one is Ebara Pony. There's a lot of Ebara models. This is one of the first ones again, and I think it's one of the best of those. That's not the only one that I'm going to show you, because there's
here we go. Anime.
more Ebara Pony.
In this video, I'll be going over
Oh, how much more? Oh, 5.
creating anime art, and
Pandora's
also
Wish.
wasting time with models that don't give you very good results. As we take a look at the different models, I'll be using mostly the same settings and prompts so that we can get a clear idea of what the differences are. Stable Diffusion can do a good job creating realistic looking art, but when trying to implement a style, it can struggle to deliver the results you might be looking for. Another popular option for creating AI art is Flux, and similar to Stable Diffusion, it does a great job of creating realistic images. However, it really struggles in this instance to create the style that we're looking for.
3 left.
With some time and tweaking, you could probably get much better results. I'm not really sure why the image came out so blurry every time, but there are such better options available that I find it better to use our time looking at those models. One such model is called Pony XL. This is
2 left.
option, and as you can see, the results are much better than the previous examples. The image is much clearer, and the art style is a lot closer to what we're looking for. Now, you might really like this art style the way that it is, and certainly if you add some modifiers with different LoRa's, you might be able to get this even better and closer to what you're looking for. However, in my experience, I still found it pretty difficult to get the results that I wanted with Pony XL. The next example we have is Hasaku XL. With this model, the style looks, in my opinion, much closer to what would be considered a traditional anime art style. Next we have Nova Anime, and here's where I feel that we really start getting somewhere with the generation. This looks very close to something that you would find a real artist making.
Names and names.
Capturing the anime art style, and also captures many little details that weren't visible in any of the previous models. I would definitely recommend this model over any of the models that we've experimented with previously. Another great option is WAI Illustrious SDXL. Similar to the previous example, this model does a great job of capturing the anime art style, and the style is really nice, the lighting looks really good, and it also captures a lot of little details that make it look very professional. So if I were to give a recommendation on what to start using when generating anime art, it would definitely be WAI Illustrious and Nova Anime. I think that when people start generating AI anime art, this is the kind of results people are hoping to get. And both of these models do a really good job of creating a starting point. As you'll be able to tell, when I add in LoRa to create adjustment, it is able to very accurately and quickly give us results that are presentable without any further adjustments. Lastly, as a bonus, another great model that I found recently is Flatbread Style. As you can see, the model that you choose has a great impact on the results of what style and type of image you get. In future videos, I'll be exploring many different art styles and showing the tricks and tips that I use to get good results. You should be able to find any of the models that I've used here with a quick Google search. There's also a chance that I'm going to add them in the description, so make sure to check them out. Recently, a lot of the models have been moved around between different websites or removed entirely because of safety precautions added to those websites. One example is Civit AI. I've used Civit AI many times to download different models, and recently they've created a separate website that contains mature models and content. I think that segregating mature content in this instance is a great way to keep their platform suitable for all ages. That being said, I think it's important to note that though they have segregated these websites, I am unaware of any model that is incapable of generating mature content. So even if you find a model on a general website that is marketed to all audiences, in reality, most, if not all of these models are capable of creating mature content. So keep that in mind if you're considering allowing children to create AI models using any of these models. With that being said, I hope that you find this video helpful, and if you have any questions or comments, make sure to leave them below. If you need any additional help learning the ins and outs of company law and image generation, then click the video on the screen and don't forget to like and subscribe. Thanks for watching.
Let me ask you, what makes manga so special? This is kind of like the age-old "does Avatar: The Last Airbender count as anime?" discussion, where everyone conflates medium and a place of origin with like the vibes of anime, and then gets in a fight about whether Avatar fits the anime vibe or not. At the end of the day, the answer doesn't matter.
None of this matters.
It's fun to think about, but there is something about manga that distinguishes it from superhero comics, French bande dessinée, and graphic memoirs. Why else would it be taking up half of the comics area at your local Barnes & Noble? This image is from 2010 and it's bringing back memories. A lot of people point to the glimpses of Japanese culture you see in manga, or the cliches that are particular to the medium. Talk to someone who knows how manga publishing works, and they'll tie it to the competitive nature of magazine serialization. For me, manga is unique because I can sense a singular authorial voice from a book. No doubt that there's an editor and some art assistants involved too. But when I read manga, I picture an author putting their heart and soul into drawing and making their ideas come to life. Sometimes that process creates a decade-spanning adventure about friendship and strength. And other times, it makes a comic with really pretty pictures of maids. There is an expectation in manga that the author squeezes every ounce of their talent to draw their story because they believe they must. So, when in December of 2025, Tonari no Young Jump announced the one-shot Mikuni no Habakiri-sama as the winner of their newcomer manga contest, it put the label in hot water. At first glance, the manga seemed good enough. The art is pretty and detailed, there's plenty of action and lots of fan service, but it's oddly hard to read. The panels don't naturally lead your eyes to the next scene, so you try to pay closer attention. And then you start to notice all of the strange artistic choices. The main characters' horns aren't drawn consistently, some of the background characters have eccentric tastes in fashion, and there's just something off about the poses. Is that a man or a woman? The artwork isn't bad in the typical way, but you're constantly asking, what was the artist thinking when they drew this? Oh, wait. This looks like AI. Well, technically, it hasn't been confirmed as AI, but a good chunk of the internet thinks it is. Shueisha, the publisher behind Young Jump and the much more famous Shonen Jump, has refrained from making further comments about this nomination too. They haven't confirmed nor denied the AI allegations, nor have they retracted the award in its prize of 430,000 yen. That's roughly $2,500 US. As things stand right now, this comic that heavily reeks of AI received Shueisha's approval. Greatly disappointing, but frankly unsurprising, Shueisha allows AI-generated comics on their user-submitted manga platform, Jump Rookie, and they have their own ChatGPT-based chat tool called Comic Copilot, advertised to help creators with brainstorming, script writing, and story techniques. This industry leader has embraced generative AI for manga production. So, should I try embracing it too?
Costco hot dog.
Okay, here's the deal. I'm going to try making a 4-panel comic with AI as someone who knows how to draw. And my mission is to see how much work...
Okay, now let's do this. event. Oh, I have to go do the games.
あらユニオン所属
So I'm gonna have to skip this. I can't skip this. Damn. I guess I'm not gonna get the anniversary bonus. I have 2 weeks to do it too.
Japanese IP law is famously strict, and Japanese companies tend to be pretty harsh with their enforcement. Now, as we've discussed in the past, that environment allows for some leeway when it comes to fanworks made in Japan. But that leniency doesn't generally extend to fanworks made outside of Japan. Just look at the innumerous articles on Nintendo, or even Sony or Sega cracking down on someone's fan game or ROM hack or fan art, right? I've argued before that the global legal environment surrounding intellectual property all but requires large corporate IP holders to act in this way. It's a bit of a deja vu, so to make a long story short, your intellectual property is separated into different rights, including copyright and trademark. Your copyright protects your ability to control and profit from the work itself, while your trademark protects the brand under which that work is sold. Imagine then that you're playing, a bullet hell shooter. Your trademark is the little airplane thingy, and all the bullets are potentially confusing or unauthorized uses of your IP. Not every bullet will kill you, but if enough serious infringements get through, you can lose control of your brand, and especially large infringers need to be shot down before they can cause further damage. As you've surely seen then, IP holders can be quite quick to the trigger, and this is especially the case for Japanese IP holders. But there is one exception to that general rule, and that exception, gosh, I sound like summoning salt, is Toho. No matter how many little IP infringing bullets you fire at Toho, it just dodges them all. The creator and rights holder of Toho, AZUR, seems to allow for just about everything and anything. There have even been questions on forums and the like asking if Toho is public domain. How is it possible for Toho to come out of Japan of all places and have rules of engagement so lenient that people could mistake the IP for public domain? Doesn't that contradict the notion that everyone has to be so guarded with their IP? Why can't every intellectual property holder just be like so? Wouldn't that make the world a much better place? Well, the answer to all those questions is quite simple, really, and will sound rather familiar to Toho players. It's a skill. You know, there's a joke in economics, paraphrasing a quote by economist Simon Kuzniak, that goes something like this. There are 4 types of economies in the world: developed, underdeveloped, Japan, and Argentina. Well, there are 4 types of intellectual property rights holders in the video gaming world too. They're strict, lenient, Nintendo, and Toho. Let's discuss the Toho difference and see how and why Zoom is able to get away with his lenient enforcement, and then apply that framework to other rights holders to see if they too get good. Now let's say you're playing Toho Lost World, an officially licensed game on your phone, but alas, your device is running low on power. To whom do you turn, and what do you do? Well, you might turn to this video's sponsor, Ugreen, who's partnered with Honkai Star Rail to release a new line of products featuring Yaoguang-inspired exclusive designs available for a limited time only. I've actually used Ugreen products myself before, and I consider their gear to be a cut above. It's still affordable, which is why I'm elated to introduce you trailblazers to their latest product. They sent me their collectible gift box for us to check out, which is perfect because I rather desperately needed a new fast charger. As Larita here will show you, the premium collector's box comes with a magnetic power bank, a 65-watt charger, a retractable cable, and a Ugreen fine track, all fancifully designed with Yaoguang's signature peacock elements. And for the Yaoguangist amongst you, you also get a Yaoguang chibi acrylic set, a tin badge, a holographic ticket, and pouch. Collectibles available only with this gift box. Let's get a closer look at that power bank. Ugreen's Macro power bank features Qi 2 technology, which allows for 15-watt wireless fast charging. That's right, wireless fast charging. Despite its small size, it has a 10,000 milliampere hour capacity, enough to charge your smartphone about twice over. Your pocket-sized 65-watt fast charger with foldable plug, power bank, and other items all fit neatly into the included pouch as well, making it ideal for travel. And if you use an Apple device, a bad Apple if you will, and happen to lose your pouch, the Fine Track can help you track it down. If you just can't get enough Madame Yao or battery charge, the Collab also features a Nexo Pro power bank with 45-watt output and a smart display that shows real-time battery status. The power bank can charge up to 3 devices at a time, turning all your battery woes into immediate. It's lovely set. It looks absolutely stunning, and best of all, it works great. You'll have all your friends green with envy. Get it? Green. Ugreen. So what are you waiting for? Check out the Ugreen X Honkai.
I did it. Oh, I finally won.
Links in the description and pinned comment. You can even win this bonus with collectible and other prizes, including this very gift box. That's the Ugreen X Honkai Star Rail collectible gift box, available via the link in the pinned comment in the description. A special thanks to Ugreen for sponsoring this video. Before we get into how Toho is possible, we have to first figure out what Toho is. And Toho is, you see, there are these fairies, vampires, and bugs or something. They live in this fairy world and they fail math class. And Toho is complicated, so let's start from the very beginning. Back in 1977, a man named Junya Ota was born in the village of Hakuba in the Nagano prefecture of Japan. And Junya, a creative youth even at a very young age, started using the nickname Zun early in his childhood. And Zun, it turns out, had a passion for music. In elementary school, Zun learned to play the trumpet as part of a school wind ensemble. And in junior high, Zun's parents, wishing to invest in said passion for music, purchased him an Electone, an electric organ produced by the Yamaha Corporation.
Was that all
By
I
high
need?
school, Zun developed an interest
You
in
got the
making music
guts?
for video games, citing such inspirations as the soundtrack of Street Fighter 2. But as is the case with many East Asian children, despite Zun's passion for music, he ended up at Tokyo Denki University majoring in
I have to play
mathematics.
this.
Yet even as a math major, Zun continued working on his video game music in private, only to discover that he didn't actually know anybody making video games that he could insert his music into. And as such, Zun decided to make his own games for the singular purpose of giving his music some place to exist. In 1996 then, Zun released his first game, Toho Raiden, the highly responsive to prayers for the Nippon Electric PC9800, better known as the PC98. Zun was only 19 years old when the game released. The gameplay was relatively simple. The player controlled a shrine maiden named Reimu Hakure, whose job it was to bounce a yin-yang ball across the screen, using said ball to hit various targets and bosses.
Oh.
The game consisted of 20 total stages, with 2 selectable paths, each featuring unique content. From the very outset then, from this very first game in what would become the Toho project, the pattern was established. The gameplay is nothing that spectacular, but the music, well, the music was magical. Zun went on to release 4 other games, now collectively known in the West as PC98 in reference to the computers they ran on. 2 of these games, Toho Fumaro, The Story of Eastern Wonderland, and Toho Yumejiku, The Phantasmagoria of Dim Dream, were released in 1997. The former game, The Story of Eastern Wonderland, was the first Danmaku game in the series, the first curtain-fire bullet hell game. This game also introduced Toho's later deuteragonist, Marisa Kirisame, as a boss character. The 2 remaining games, Toho Gensokyo, Lotus Land Story, and Toho Kaikidan, Mystic Square, were released in 1998. Lotus Land Story introduces Marisa Kirisame as a playable character, provides the first reference to the world of Toho, Gensokyo. Lotus Land Story is also responsible for Toho's most infamous song, Bad Apple. And Mystic Square, for its part, introduced players to fan-favorite character Alice Murgatroyd, and is considered the most polished of the PC98 games. Now at the time, all of these games were rather niche, to put it lightly. They were published by amusement makers, an unofficial student group at Tokyo Denki University, and thus penetration into the Japanese market was fairly limited, and the games were completely unknown in the West. Fun fact, the old amusement makers website is still up, and despite being last updated in 2010, it hasn't apparently changed very much since the 90s. The times they were changing though, and by 2002 Zun was ready with a new game, this time produced for Windows. And Zun, noting that Windows was a Western product, decided to include a sort of brick joke. He opened the game with a Western setting, introduced Western designed characters, and brought in Western monsters as bosses, even though the series itself is literally named Eastern Direction, Toho. This legendary game, was none other than Toho Komakyo, the embodiment of Scarlet Devil. Now, you might not have ever played a Toho game. You might not even know any of these characters. But if you're like me, there's one thing you do know from the embodiment of Scarlet Devil, and arguably...
Got the medal, okay.
The song you've most likely heard before is UN Owen Was Her. No, it has nothing to do with the United Nations. UN Owen comes from an Agatha Christie novel. UN Owen turns out to be a pen name that spells out unknown. You might have also seen some of the characters that made their debut in Scarlet Devil, including Remelia and Flanders Scarlet, Serno the Ice Fairy, Hong Mei Ling, Patchouli Knowledge, and Sakuya Izumi. Even if, like me, you don't really have any idea who these characters are, what they're about, or what they do, if you've ever encountered anime avatar people on the internet, it's likely that you recognize them. I, to be fair, like most of the Toho fanbase, have never played a Toho game, but I know that Serno the Ice Fairy is terrible at math and that there are no buses in Gensokyo. Now, as we've referenced already, Scarlet Devil has a lot of Western and Eastern cultural themes mashed together, and This is present all throughout not only the game itself, but the context surrounding it. Scarlet Devil was published, for example, by Team Shanghai Alice, though the team part is a bit of a misnomer. Zun was the only member of said team, and he remains the only member of said team to this very day. Why Shanghai? Well, it's because Shanghai was like a mix between the East and the West, said Zun in an interview. And Alice? Alice implies just a bit of, shall we say, wonder. And the game itself is a mix of Eastern and Western elements, from the characters and setting to the music featuring references to Agatha Christie, or even Beethoven, as was the case in Romelia Scarlet's theme, Septet for the Dead Princess, which draws substantial influence from Beethoven's Sonata No. 8 in C minor, Opus 13 Pathetique. Despite Zun's intentions then to create a quite literally Toho, a Dongfang and Eastern direction franchise, what he created was a bridge. A bridge between the nerdiest and most obscure underground of Japanese nerddom and their equivalent in the West. Now, Scarlet Devil wasn't a massive hit right away, but it did build an underground cult following of fans in both the East and West who were fascinated by the Toho universe and the characters within, all of whom were largely blank slates. And where
I think we got this one. Okay, the last 10 build is gonna be here.
別にガン見しなくてもいいです。
Let's see, who'd I get?
あよ、ここは。やーしきか。やーしきか。私はサディア所属の潜水艦レオナルド・ダ・ヴィンチ。
That's it. Oh, yes, we have to do 2 more.
はじめまして。
John Rogers. I'm gonna break John Rogers.
なんかこのやり方しっくりこないな。やり方を変えたらもっとうまくいくって？わかったわかった。ハリゾン姉さん。これ
Rogers. Colette Bennington from Luxembourg. Harrison, Colette, Luxembourg, Bennington. I don't know, 2200, so that requires limit breaking everyone. I want the cash. I guess I do.
Soto no mimawari? Yaru yo? いつもはドローン。プレゼントの箱にまだ隙間が。
Good for you. No. Luxembourg.
このブリュレすっごく可愛いです。
Favorite.
食べちゃいたい。ダメよビックスバーグ。アイドルなんだからカロリーを。もっとき。
Amount of items. Amount of ships. Hold on. Here we go. Oh wait, I can only get one of them.
また来ちゃいましたか。
Should have gotten Colette down.
Soto no mimawari? Yaru yo?
Shop event exchange. So I need these. What else do I need? Good for you.
Soto no mimawari? Yaru yo? いつもはドローンを足代わりにしてぶら下がった状態で飛びながらやってて、その方が疲れないから。
How many do I have? Okay.
なんか
Damn, I almost didn't get them.
このブリュレすっごく可愛いです。もっとキラキラになりました。
Oh wait, missions, collect all. Oh, how many more? Birmingham, where are you, Birmingham? Oh no, I'm not gonna be able to get it, so... Missions... Essex, Bristol, Saratoga. B2, B3. I ought to do this.
ちょっとばかし大きい獲物よ。オリバー、海の底に沈んでけ。こんにちは、指揮官さん。やれやれ、ほれ。おとといは龍城ちゃん、昨日は千歳ちゃん、今日はあなたたちね。行くよ。どこ見てるの？今です。こっちだよ。今です。大空をかけよう。どこ見てるの？こっちだよ。フォックスハウンド、指揮官に報告。今日のお鍋はおとといはちょっとばかし大きい獲物よ。千歳ちゃん、オリバー、あなたたちね。行くよ。こんにちは、指揮官さん。やれやれ、ほれ。おとといは龍城ちゃん、昨日は千歳ちゃん、今日はあなたたちね。行くよ。こってどこ見てるの？今です。こっちだよ。今です。大空をかけよう。どこ見てるの？こっちだよ。指揮官、私は従順。今日のお鍋はおとといは龍城ちゃん、昨日は千歳ちゃん、今日はあなたたちね。行くよ。こってどこ見てるの？今です。こっちだよ。今です。今日のお鍋は海鮮鍋が出来上がるまでに片付けましょう。役を抜女性。どこ見てるの？今です。こっちだよ。今です。大空をかけよう。どこ見てるの？こっちだよ。今です。服よ正常、役を抜女性。どこ見てるの？こっちだよ。こうってこのままじゃますます調子が悪くなっちゃいます。今です。どこ見てるの？こっちだよ。 私はエンタープライズ先輩。
This is it.
海鮮鍋が出来上がるまでに片付けましょう。アニバ役を海の底に沈んでけ。これちょっとばかし大きい獲物よ。アニバ海の底に沈んでけ。ゴボゴボ海の底に沈んでけ。これ海鮮鍋が出来上がるまでに片付けましょう。アニバゴボゴボ海の底に沈んでけ。ゴボゴボ海の底に沈んでけ。フォックスハウンド指揮官に報告。やれやれこれ海鮮鍋が出来上がるまでに片付けましょう。役を罰女性。こってどこ見てるの？今です。こっちだよ。今です。大空をかけよう。大空をかけよう。どこ見てるの？こっちだよ。服よ正常。今です。役を罰女性。どこ見てるの？こっちだよ。あらら、おね。海鮮鍋が出来上がるまでに片付けましょう。役を罰女性。こってどこ見てるの？今です。こっちだよ。今です。大空をかけよう。今日のお鍋はおとといは龍城ちゃん、昨日は千歳ちゃん、今日はあなたたちね。行くよ。今です。こっちだよ。今です。大空をかけよう。どこ見てるの？こっちだよ。服よ正常。今です。役を罰女性。会心の一撃。どこ見てるの？こっちだよ。こうって 会心の一撃今です会心の一撃ごきげんよう私はリアあららおねはい好き
What? No. Well, oh fuck, guys. 'Cause I need 4 of them. I don't have 4 of them.
あ、また来ちゃいましたか。あ、また来ちゃいましたか。
Let's see. I really do just need 600 more. Okay, good night.